Him taking Big's lines and all of that. And I'm surprised. We were surprised when he started doing it because it was considered biting. But he said that he was doing it because he was continuing Big's legacy. You know what I mean? But
do you believe it?
I don't believe it. I don't believe it. But because he is so great in his space, when he did it, you know, people always emulate greatness. So when you have a great doing that, it's like, it's cool. So we're gonna do it too. And now it's just out of control. So I blame you, Jay-Z, for doing that.
I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. I respect.
Nah, respects to everybody, man, who gotta find a way to get their grind going. You know what I mean? But I just come from an era when you didn't take people's names, you didn't take people's bars. You know, that's just the era I came from. But that's an old school era now.
That's that's respect. I mean,
but does it make it right?
So let me go back to 1991-92 era.
Right.
Because I remember I was graduating high school. I stuck it out. I made it through.
Okay, you made it.
I made it through.
You made it through high school.
Yeah. I was the dancer. All my boys were the rappers and the DJs.
Right.
And at that time, you guys stood out, like you said, as unique, and there was crews back then.
Right, everything was groups and crews and stuff like that. Yeah.
So your name specifically itself is unique, and I remember it was about getting your name out there, and you would shout even people out on albums. Remember?
Right.
Because I seen your MTV Raps when it was Daytona Beach, and they was all together, that squad. So can you tell me a little bit about where the name Do It All came from?
Do It All came from I went to Newark Tech High School in Newark, New Jersey, and it came from one of my guys, Kenya Reed, you know, KR, we called him, cool dude. I was involved in everything, so I was on a baseball team, basketball team.
Felt dope, felt good.
You know what I mean? Felt good, right? and computer club, the Business Leaders of America. I was on everything. So one day I'm running down the hallway, and this is my guy. I don't give him a pound. I just run by him, and he's like, "Yo, you ain't gonna dap me up." I'm like, yo, I'm late for baseball practice. I gotta get my stuff out of my equipment out of the locker. And he like, there he go, man. You involved in everything. So my real name is Dupre, and you know my family calls me Prey, and friends call me Du, you know, short for Dupre. So he was like, there he go, do it all, do. He do everything.
The combination, huh?
And then the next day, the following day, I'm battling somebody in the hallway, and I'm tearing the frame out there.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And he was like, ooh, my man, do it all, giving it to him. Do it all, do it all. So at first, I'm like, the whole school started calling me Do It All. And I'm like, man, stop calling me Do It All. And it didn't stop it. Then I accepted it.
Now that you said you accepted it, do you feel like that was the right decision to go with that name?
I would just say this. Be careful of the moniker you pick. Because when you pick a moniker, you have to live by that name. When you call yourself Killer #1 Murderer MC, now you gotta kill or murder somebody.
Straight facts.
That's like a tattoo. You know what I mean?
Right.
Once you want to get your name out there, once your name is out there, did you have a name? Let me ask you. Did you have a name prior? What did you spit with? What when you freestyle? When you battle? Because it seemed like you were battling in the hallways, right?
Man, you know what? I gotta auction this off, and I might have to auction this off on FTV. I have a MC shirt that I just found because I just sold one of my properties that had like all of my memorabilia in the garage.
Okay.
I just found a shirt that had that spray painted, and it has the iron letters on it.
Okay.
With my rap name on it.
Ooh. Nice. John, what you think, John?
Let's do it.
Let's do
love.
Do love. No, for real?
And it got the heart between. It got the DU, the heart, and the love.
Okay.
We gotta make it happen.
Okay.
So I just found it. You know, let's donate that to charity or something, man. Let's get an auction or something.
We gotta make it happen. We gotta make it happen,
man.
See, right there, he's giving back to the community. How many rappers will take, or how many icons out there would actually take some of their trophies or something that holds sincerity to their career and put it out there for auction?
Right.
So mad love out there for giving back to the community.
Absolutely.
Shout out to DJ June too, always giving back to the community.
That's my brother right
So
there.
thank you for opening the doors
you.
here, DJ June, and Manota.TV and DJ B19 in the house. So being that Jersey's in the house, where did Lords of the Underground, which stands out in Jersey and from Jersey, where did that name come from?
Lords of the Underground name came from, I know if y'all remember Queens, right? Shout out to all my Queens dudes, man. You know, that's why I give love to Queens, because Queens dudes put us on. So shout out to the Bridge. Tragedy Gaddafi. Intelligent Hoodlum. That's where the name came from, man. He said it in the freestyle. He said it somewhere in his moving along, maneuvering through this hip hop. And DJ Marley Marl said, yo, that's your name. So we always credit Tragedy Gaddafi for giving us that name, man. Shout out to Greenberry TV.
Another round of applause, baby.
Yes.
Another round of applause.
Yeah, man.
And again, you're getting some real behind the scenes information here. You got the original name of
Right.
both parts of that right there. So let me ask you, being that you are from Jersey, what is your favorite Jersey song? Doesn't even have to be yours. You know, and so many Jersey artists, being that you're talking about other artists. Who was your, other than you guys?
Man,
who stood out to you?
So many. I mean, see, this is where I find like I don't understand sometimes when you talk about the '90s hip hop, and you talk about the golden era being one of the best eras of hip hop. But every time they mention the golden era, they don't mention Jersey. They mention maybe Queen Latifah because they see her on TV all the time.
It happens all the time.
And they mention Redman because he's probably one of, underground top 5. But they don't mention anything else. But when you talk about the 90s, we have consecutive gold and platinum artists during that time period.
Facts.
You know, Fugees, every single member has gold and platinum records, solo projects as well, and then probably 15 or 20 million as a collective. You got Naughty by Nature. You have Wise Intelligence, and Poor Righteous Teachers. You got YG, you got Outsiders, you got Channel Live, you got Lords of the Underground, you got Rock Digger, you got Redman, you got Apache, you got Latifah.
Why do you feel like Jersey doesn't get that type of recognition?
You know why? Because we're a state divided. And the reason why I say we're a state divided, we don't have a television station, we don't have a radio station, even though the major market, New York City, all of their transmitting towers are in New Jersey.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? So when you're listening to Hot 97 or Power 105, those transmissions are coming from New Jersey. But that's a major market. Hell, we got a football team that doesn't even call themselves the New Jersey Giants, and they play, live, work, everything in New Jersey.
That's a fact.
But they don't call themselves New Jersey. So if you're in New Jersey, we're state divided. The North Jersey, we are treated like we're from New York. Because we're North Jersey, because we get everything that comes from New York. Television stations, radio stations, everything is that vibe. Even when you get your plane ticket, it says New York, Newark.
It's what I was telling you the last time when we spoke, remember? Jersey doesn't have that base. I feel that, like he just said right now, Jersey doesn't have that base to push themselves to the next level. It's like we always got to glorify the city.
But that's just North Jersey. But then it's a state divided because you got South Jersey who deals with the same thing. Because everybody considers them from the Philly market. Everybody in South Jersey, they have television stations that's from Philly. They have, radio stations that's from Philly. So anytime somebody comes out from Jersey, they're always associated with other places that are not from Jersey. New York and Philadelphia. So that's why we're always split up, and I believe that's why we don't get our props. So when you do give a Jersey person props, if they're from North Jersey, you associate that with New York. If you do give a person props from New Jersey and they're from South Jersey, you associate that with the Philadelphia market.
Now that you just broke it down like that, I'm giving it a lot of thought, and it's straight facts.
Yeah, it's facts. It's just what I live. It's the authentic experience.
Just respect. And the opinions are taken in all types of, you know what I mean?
Do it all. Tell me about DMX, bro.
Man, DMX, man, rest in peace to the God, man, and, condolences to his family, his loved ones, all the people that really rock with DMX. What I don't like, man, is I don't like when people do, so much clout chasing nowadays with social media. That people post things, that you see people coming up with pictures that didn't even know them, but they're saying like me, I was chilling with me when I was chilling with DMX. No, you caught him outside of a show and he took a picture with you. And I respect those people who say that. Like, you know, I miss him and I took a picture with him. But don't try to front on this man's death or benefit off of this man's death. So I salute, you know, everything that DMX has done for the culture. I mean, back-to-back consecutive 4 million, 5 million, you know, records.
That's
multiple,
crazy.
Like, he was just
He's
amazing.
like the only
man.
one that did it, right? Around that time?
Around that time, man, it was no stopping DMX, man. I mean, you know, I just salute his family. I salute DMY and the Locks and everybody who really had a relationship. I knew DMX. The first time I ever met DMX, he showed me love. And he's like, yo, Chief Rocker. My nigga. And you know, I'm not even fronting like I had a real personal relationship with D. I didn't. It was just strictly hip hop. He respected what I do, and of course you can't do nothing but respect what he did for the game, man. And it's just sad that we lost such a legend, you know. And you know, we got to keep our legends alive, man. And he was going through a lot of pain. You can hear it in his music. You can hear it in his prayers. You can see it in his eyes at times, man. And he even had some stuff in Newark at one time, you know. But we love him, man. Rest in peace, and to his children and all of that, man. So salute to DMX, man.
Talking about
Round of applause on that one.
Yeah, definitely.
Talking about legends. Tell me about this event that's gonna be on social media going down for the 420 Redman and Method Man.
Oh my God.
Tell me first, before that, tell me if that movement, doing the verses, is good for the culture or what you think about the movement.
I love the movement. I love the versus movement. You know, shout out to Swiss, shout out to Timbo. Right? Hip hop has always been that thing that creates something from other things. You know, that is hip hop. When you can take something in its purest form and create something else from that. That's always been hip hop. We sample records and turn them into something totally different. We take things that used to be called appliances, like the turntable, and turn it into an instrument. We take beats that are already made and sounds that are already made, chop them, screw them, twist them, and make our own sound out of it. So I love the versus movement because through tough times, through bad times, Swiss and Timbo took social media platform and created an entertaining show type of platform. So now that battle type of which hip hop started in that battle sense platform, and now you create a performing platform. So now versus is not just battling against each other, because you start to hear people, I'm tired of everybody getting up, sitting down, they got one song. That's what I've heard, you know, people, I'm tired of that. So they knew that would happen. They sold it at the right time. Not sold out, but they sold it to put hip hop on a broader level, and now you have a performing platform in verses where you're going to get the chance to see Red and Meth do their thing just the same way that you saw Raekwon and Ghost do their thing. That wasn't a real battle. That was Ray and Ghost displaying talent for people who were watching from the safety of their homes, and that's just part of our reality now. You have to watch people from indoors if you choose to, and you can still be entertained by your favorite artist. So on 420, a great day for Red and Meth, who are the Cheech and Chongs of our era. They will have an incredible show. I just got off the phone with Doc too, and you know, me, him, Meth, we all was together at Heather B house maybe like 2 weeks ago, man. Shout out to Heather B, who's always cooking up some great food. And we were just building, man, and having a great time. Those guys are like family to me, so it's just regular, you know. But they're about to give their fans and the culture a great thing on. I just left Eric Sermon too. He was just talking about it the other day, so it's gonna be some surprises.
That's what we need, man.
Talking about DJ confusing you, right?
Yeah.
People don't know, especially you just mentioned right now, people don't know that Redman was your DJ.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean,
break that down.
If you follow me or follow Lords, or by now, man, if you're a real fan, you should know that Redman was my DJ back in the day. We were in a group, Do It All Do, and the Wonder Twins. I thought I was Big Daddy Kane. I had my Scoop and Scrap, you know what I mean? Shout out to Dorian and Rockman and my DJ. He was DJ Cut Killer.
What was his name?
Redman was called DJ Cut Killer.
Yo, Joe, when we see him, we gotta tell him. I'll be like, yo, so what was your DJ name?
Cut Killer.
We got gems behind the scenes.
But let's be clear though. Not only was he an incredible DJ, what made him so dope is he used to freestyle while he was DJing, cutting himself. You know how DJ's spinning it back and he's rhyming while doing all of that back in the day. You know what I mean? So that's what made him dope. And he's one of my top 5 MCs. So when I say he was my DJ, in no way am I playing down like, oh, he was my... Nah, he was just an incredible talent. And he was just amazing, man. As an artist, I already knew that he would, you know, just because of his work ethic, I already knew that he was going to be, you know, out of here. And yeah, man, we've been boys since 11 years old. And he might say 13, but 11 years old. And
time flies, huh?
Yeah, time flies, man. His birthday is Saturday, man. So shout out to Redman's birthday, April 17th. You know what I mean? So that's my guy, man. That's my brother.
So tell me a little bit about what are you doing in the community, because I've seen you in the community doing some things, bringing some good feedback and helping the community. What's going on in the community? What are you doing?
Man, in the community, I have a non-profit organization called 211 Community Impact. And all we're trying to do is be part of the whole. You know, my thing is I don't like when people complain or talk about things in the community, but that's all they're doing. They're just talking about it. Oh, this block is messed up, or this person or this politician not doing this, but they're not doing anything about it. So I don't really talk about it. You know, my thing with my nonprofit organization was to be the action, be the change that people wanted to see. So I felt like if people can follow me and support me through music, and they just, you know, people would watch me with braids in my hair back then, the bandana. You know, Santana from Dipset. Yeah. He said he rocked the bandana like he rock. He said, I rock it Harlem way, but I got it from you. You know what I mean? The way I rock the bandana. And, you know, and people, they don't remember all of that type of stuff. They just remember what's happening now.
Correct.
So the people that you inspired, they don't know that you inspired them as time goes on. So, you know, the thing, I felt like if people can follow me on a hip-hop level, then when I start doing great things in the community for issues that I think or believe that need change, maybe they'll follow me that way too. And that's what's been happening. I remember a guy hit me, said, yo, man, they biting off you, man. They biting off you. They trying to give their whole block, buy school supplies for their whole block and book bags. They doing what you did. I'm like, they're not biting off me. I'm glad they're doing that. They supposed to be doing that.
Of course, everybody has to do that.
Yeah, and it's just, you know, there's influence, man, and there's inspiration. You know, and I'd rather be the inspiration to somebody, because when you're the inspiration to somebody, you're dealing with in spirit. You're in one with them. You know what I mean? And when and influence is powerful too. Don't get me wrong. But when you're under the influence, it's just that. You're under the influence of something or someone else, so you're trying to be like that. Inspiration says that I want to be me. I'm in spirit with your doing, so let me be greater or better than you did it because you inspired me to be great.
That's strong. That's strong. That is strong.
All right.
See, like you said, there is a difference. It's mindset. His mindset is beyond others that don't understand. Talk to me about what was the first song that set you off, that opened the doors for you to be able to give back and blow up, actually?
Well, I mean, the first song that got me into hip-hop was Rapper's Delight, man, Sugar Hill Gang. You know, when my uncle came home from the Army, and when he came home from the Army, all I would do is, you know, he didn't have a place to stay, so he stayed with us, you know, at his sister's house, my mom, in the spare room, and I would smell this funny aroma that would come out of the room, which I now know is bud, which I now know is weed. And and this is old school, he would fight his praying mantis in a shoebox, you know what I mean? And he would play this record over and over and over again, a hip, a hop, to the hippie, to the hippity. And I know that wasn't the same sound that was coming out of the Shaka Khan, James Brown, Sam and Dave, Marvin Gaye, out of the living room that my mother was playing, Evelyn Champagne King. That wasn't the same sound that was coming out of my uncle's room. So I would gravitate to just going by the door, listening to that. I couldn't go in because of the fun of the aroma that was coming out. But I would just, you know, the hip, and I wanted to find out what was that, what was sound like that, what was more to that. And then I started to discover the culture, man, and I fell in love with the culture.
Beautiful, man.
So what was the song that blew up Lords of the Underground? What was your blow up song?
Well, and I'm glad you asked that question, because that makes me realize that there is no overnight success. There is not one thing that blows you up. There is a process to getting to blow up. Because we came out with Psycho, #1 Billboard rap single. Then we come out with a multi-single, you know, you got Check It, Psycho, Sleep for Dinner on one side. Now this is building up character, this is building up fan base, you know, so you're pulling them into your world. Then Funky Child comes out, and everybody goes, man, people tell me, when your first record, Funky Child, dropped, it was amazing. But that wasn't our first record. You know what I mean?
Going back to what you just said right now, I'm curious to ask this one question. You said that you can't be an
overnight success.
Yeah, overnight success.
Yeah.
Why is it that a lot of the newer talents now feel like they could just blow up whenever?
Because social media tells them that they can, but even with them, it's not an overnight success. You have to build up your fan base. Right. You know, you might start off with 100 followers. You know, you put something funny or you put something that's interesting, and now you got 1,000 followers by the next week. And then you build on that, like, whoa, I got 1,000 followers. Makes you want to post more, makes you want to put up some more of that thing that make you get those followers. Then you put it up that, now you got 10,000 followers. You're like, yo, let me put this record out. Now you got 100,000 followers.
That's what I'm talking about. See, because the thing is that I wanted to get to the bottom of that, and I needed somebody that was in the industry and that knew what he was talking about. Because when I like to look at different interviews, and I see these young cats nowadays, they're like, oh, I blew up, you know what I mean, just 2 days and this and that. Like, okay, how did you do it? What did you do?
We got the homie in there right now. We got Shiggy in there right now, right? Dope, internet, comedy, funny, all of that. But I guarantee you, if you was to ask him, he'll tell you he didn't blow up overnight either. People probably know him from Kiki, is it with?
Yes, sir.
But I bet you he got 1,000 more videos before that, right? So it's not about blowing up overnight. All you need is that one. And then when people hear that one, they're like, oh, that's when he blew up. That's the first record I heard from him. But no, he got 1,000 more things that he did before them. It just wasn't as popular as this. But all of those people who followed them when it wasn't that popular made this popular.
So is it about making a hit or making it a classic?
I think it's about being you.
Ooh. Oh, so
I think
the switch over. I like that one. That was a good one. That was a good one. Lando, on you.
No, see now what I'm hearing you say, and it's bringing me back to Redman saying, "Who chipped in for the 10 bag?" I just my whole energy just I gotta embrace this interview a whole nother way, because this question and things going on, and you just got me, inspired me, you know what I mean? Right. Under the influence, I'm being real right now. I'm under influence of you know,
do it all.
What's going on? Yeah. But honestly, when they say who chipped in for the 10 band, them cats don't know about street team, putting flyers on cars, chipping in for gas, single digit. Yo, you got $2, so you can get $10.
They don't know about
you know, they don't know how to do it all.
Breaking piggyback, you know, all that type of stuff.
You know what I mean? So when squads were together and they rolled together, and it wasn't violence, it was like you couldn't wait. I mean, just hearing you guys at that time, I felt I was part of you guys. Because, I mean, take that nothing away. No way can we be part of what you've done back then. But when we invited you into our homes, into our speakers, into our videos. And
you were part of it.
Yes.
By doing that.
Yes. Funky Child. When I could see the video on the hoodies you guys are rocking. I could see the water. I mean, it's like you guys were sewers. Because, you know, these guys. Das Effects. They were the sewers. But then there was the Def Squad and the Hit Squad. See, and I'm seeing all my CDs and all my covers. And you guys made it. Like, it was okay for us to dance back then, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was cool. You know why it was okay to dance? Like, people gotta understand, the way that I learned the hip hop was that you talked about hip hop through its elements. So when I came up the B-boy and B-girls, they were tough. They were tough in the game, in the culture. And the reason being is because the B-boys and the B-girls was the dancers and the fashionistas or fashion, you know, I guess they call them fashionistas. They was the people that, look, if you were a dancer in hip-hop early on, you also was the fly dresser. You had the fat bubble goose on. You had the fat denim with the spray paint on it. You had the fly sneakers with the fat lace.
Grew up on that.
Because the dancers wanted to look fly. While they doing their backspins, while they popping and electric sliding or sliding across the floor, you wanted to look fly doing it. So the B-boys and the B-girls, they were the fashion people and they were the dancers. You know what I mean?
Dude, I wanna ask you this question because now that you just said about fashion, do you think that the old school fashion is gonna continue to grow in these type of times? Like I see everybody trying to bring, you know, it was a trend with the Adidas thing. Now I'm starting to see people with the, you know what I mean, the FUBU and the Puma and all that. You think it's gonna keep going up towards a level that
Converse?
Yeah, because Converse was a thing too. It was a thing for a while. But the question that I'm trying to get to is do you think that all the old school fashions are gonna be the thing of the century?
I mean, there's a possibility of anything. It depends of how the culture embraces it and who from the culture says that it's cool. You know what I mean? Because you can have right now, Drake is probably our Jay-Z of the culture, right? Of now. I mean, let's go there. Like some people didn't like Jay-Z back then. Yeah. But we still said Jay was the guy.
I had a time I want to get, you know.
You can speak it, but even if you feel a certain way, the numbers, the results, and all of that say something different. So even if nobody likes Drake, you know what I mean?
Numbers don't lie.
Numbers don't lie.
I'm sorry to say it. I'm a big Drake fan.
But my point is that Drake can change the game just by choices and decisions he make because of how much he's implanted in the now culture. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, and that's just it, right? Some people might try to compare Drake against Jay-Z and say who's better or what, but how can you really make that comparison when we're taught that greatness you're supposed to always be better than the person that was great, right? We always teach that. Your son, your children, I want you to be better than me. Right? I want you to do better things than me. So when we came out, we made more money than Grandmaster Caz, Melly Mel, and they super legends. Shout out to the legends. But we made more money because that was the era. Not saying that we was even greater than them. We took what we had and took it to another level than they did. When people came out after us, they